Yes, folks, take your grammar book, page number 275 to 285. The topic here is direct speech and indirect speech. See, in conversation, this direct speech and indirect speech plays an important role, very important role. Unless you are well versed in direct and indirect speech, your communication, there will be a problem. 100% clarity in your communication, direct speech, indirect speech, the techniques, the grammatical techniques plays an important role. Here, what is direct speech? When a person, first person speaks to the second person directly, it is called direct speech. Or a group of persons speak to a group of people, or one person speaks directly to a group of people, it is called direct speech. What do you mean by indirect speech? When a person, second person or third person, he goes and says to somebody what the first person said to him, it is called indirect speech. Or when the first person and third person, they speak, the second person go and say to somebody, they have spoken, this is what they have spoken, it is called indirect speech. So, direct speech is the direct conversation between one person and another person, and indirect speech is a speech where a third person goes and says to some other person, this is what the conversation has happened between the two persons, that is called indirect speech. So, converting direct speech to indirect speech, this is the most important. See, what do you mean by direct speech? Suppose if I say, I am a teacher or I am a student, you go to somebody and say, he told that he was a student. This is called indirect speech. I say to you, you are a good student, and you go to somebody and say, sir told me that I was a good student. So, you are a good student changes into, when he goes and says to somebody, it becomes I was a good student. You becomes I, are becomes was. Able to understand? So, there is a grammatical rule. To change direct speech to indirect speech, the first and foremost is pronouns should change, direct to indirect. Suppose if I say I, it changes into indirect speech he or she. For example, if I say I am a computer engineer, you go and say, sir told that he was a computer engineer. If I am a female, you say she was a computer engineer. Me and him. Suppose if I say, they gave me a present, they gave me a present. In indirect speech, this me is changed into, you go and say, they had given him a present. If it is a female, they had given her a present. That is what you go and say. Suppose if I say, my house is at T Nagar, my house is at T Nagar. What do you go and say? Sir told that his house was at T Nagar, or if it is a female, her house was at T Nagar. Suppose if I say mine, I say this building is mine. What do you go and say? Sir told that that building was his. Suppose if it is a female, it is hers. We, I say, we are religious people. We are religious people. Suppose if I say we are religious people, you go and say, what do you go and say? Sir told that they were religious people. Us. Us. For example, you can say, the minister gave us an award. How do you go and say to somebody else? Sir told the minister had given them an award. You changes into he, she, him, her, his or we. I say you are a good boy. Even I say you are a good boy. You go and say, sir told that I was a good boy. You changes further if it is in plural, they. I say you are all intelligent students. You go and say, sir told that they were intelligent students. They is they, he, she, it becomes he, she, it, our becomes their. I say our country is a good country, or our software engineers are very good, and you go and say, sir told that their software engineers are good. I say, okay, this is what this pronouns from direct to indirect. What changes? Pronoun changes. So, this pronouns plays an important role. And in verb, after this is the number 1, pronouns changes number 1, direct to indirect number 2, it is the verbs should change. In present tense, if it is in direct speech, if I am saying in present tense, you go and say in indirect speech to in past tense. Eat changes to ate, sleep changes to slept, is changes to was. For example, I say I eat in a hotel. You go and say sir told that he ate in a hotel. Sleep, I say I sleep 8 hours per day. You go and say sir told that he slept 8 hours a day. Is changed into was. I say he is a good boy. You say sir told that he was a good boy. So, do not talk becomes did not talk. I say I do not talk. I do not talk unnecessarily. You go and say sir told that he did not talk unnecessarily. So, and has changes into had. I say what I say our prime minister has a good knowledge in economics. You go and say sir told that our prime minister had good knowledge in economics. So, have changes into had. I say they have lot of money. You say sir told that they had lot of money. Present continuous is changed into past continuous. For example, is dancing is changes into was dancing. I am saying actor Prabhudeva is dancing very well. You go and say actor Prabhudeva was dancing very well. So, are going is changes into were going. I say most of our software engineers are going abroad. You go and say sir told that most of the software engineers were going abroad. Simple past is changed into past perfect. Wrote is changed into had written. I say I wrote a grammar book. You go and say sir told that he had written a grammar book. Suppose if I say went, what will happen? Had done, had gone. I say I went to Delhi last week. You say sir told that he had gone to Delhi last week, had gone. So, did not changes into had not. I say I did not eat non-vegetarian yesterday. You go and say sir told that he had not eaten non-vegetarian the day before. He had not written. Present perfect is changed into past perfect. See here, have swum as changes into had swum. I say I have swum in a swimming pool. You go and say sir told that he had swum in a swimming pool. Have worn changes it to had worn. I say my daughter had worn a jeans. You go and say sir told that his daughter had worn a jeans. Has not seen is changed into had not seen. I say I have not seen Taj Mahal. You go and say sir told that he had not seen Taj Mahal. So, have not played is changed into had not played. I say have not played tennis so far in my life. You say sir told that he had not played. And future present is changed into future past. I say I will go to Delhi next year. You say the sir told that he would go to Delhi the next year. So, shall is changed into should. I say I shall give you a prize. You say sir told that he should give a prize, that he should give a prize. May is changed into might. I say I may buy a car. You say sir told that he might buy a car. Must is changed into say must. I must learn Hindi. You say sir told that he must learn Hindi. Can is changed into could. I say you can study well. You go and say sir told that I could study well. So, direct verb to indirect, direct to indirect verb changes. Present, simple present is changed into past. Then past tense is simple sentence is changed into past. Present continuous is changed into past continuous. Simple past is changed into past perfect. Present perfect is changed into past perfect. Future perfect is changed into future present, that is modal verbs is changed into modal verb. Present perfect is changed into past perfect. Dear students, here from adverbs, direct to indirect speech, first what it changes? Pronoun changes. Then after that verb changes. Now adverb changes. This is the third rule, which is very important, third rule. See, today changes to that day. Today in direct speeches changes to that day. I say today is a good day. You go and say to somebody, sir told that that day was a good day. That day. This today changes to that day. Tomorrow changes to next day. I say to you, tomorrow will be a holiday. And you go and say to somebody, your parents, what do you say? Sir told that the next day would be a holiday. The next day would be a holiday. I say last night. I say last night it was raining heavily. You go and say to your parents, sir told that it was raining the night before. It was raining the night before. Last night changes into night before. Yesterday changes into the day before. I say yesterday it was a holiday, and you go and say sir told that the day before was a holiday. The day before was a holiday. Now changes to then. I say now everybody should start studying. You go and say sir told that, then this is the time for everybody to start studying. Ago changes to before. Ago changes to before. Few days ago I went to beach. I say to you, you go and say to your parents, sir told that he had gone to beach just before. Here changes to there. I say here in Chennai. Here in Chennai we find lot of software companies. You go and say sir told that there in Chennai there are quite lot of software companies. This changes to that. I say this computer is a good computer. You go and say sir told that that computer was a good computer. These changes to those. I say these boys are good boys. You go and say sir told that those boys were good boys. So, my dear students, changing from direct to indirect speech, first pronoun changes, verb changes and adverb changes. This is the first rule which you should in fact by heart. Direct speech to indirect speech. Verb changes. Present changes to past, present continuous, past continuous, simple past to past perfect, present perfect to past perfect, and modal, present modal to past modal, and pronouns. These are the pronouns which changes, and adverbs. These are the adverbs should be changed. So, this is the three basic rules which you should learn in your communication. Thank you.